her, it is tattooed on my arm. And if you're curious, that's one of the things that I have to defend in here. They try to be negotiating my gender. I don't do that. They tried to refuse me medical treatment because I said my pronouns are she, her, and she said, well, I'll just leave him alone. And I'm sorry, I'm rambling already.
No, it's okay. Speaking of treatment, I know you're recovering from some wounds.
Yeah.
How's that going? How are you feeling?
I was very, very lucky. Now that John Wayne guy that shot me, his name's not actually John Wayne, but he was like a John Wayne mother. I'm sorry, I'm gonna cuss and stuff. You guys can bleep it out or whatever. They all said they were all superficial. Now one almost killed me. One bullet almost killed me. I was dead for 19 seconds. So I was like, here's the story. I was laying in the hospital. Everybody's taking care of me. Everything's going good. By the way, before I go any further, I have to shout out the Owensboro Hospital. That there is some excellent professionals, and they saved my life like more times than I can count. And I am internally indebted and grateful to them. If I end up doing community service in this county for running, I want to do it at the hospital. That's my thing. What was I saying? Oh, my wounds. I mean, they've been hit or miss, but like it's mostly good. I mean, when you now if you know this, I don't know how much stuff I've been through. I've been through trauma my whole life. I was molested. I was raped. I was domestically beaten like 2 weeks ago. My whole chest was covered in bruises. Once you get to a certain point, pain just becomes normal. And, the adrenaline kept me going, and I still honestly feel some of the adrenaline in me because I'm still fighting for my life in here as well, unfortunately. The hospital was a great place, but this place, kind of a dark place, unfortunately. And a lot of people in here be in rough spots. Okay, I'm sorry, I'll move on to the next one.
How many wounds would you say you're recovering from?
They say I have 9 holes in me from 3 gunshots. Now, I think it might have been more like 4 gunshots. I have not gotten the exact number and how many times I was shot, but I was unarmed when I was shot, though. Basically, they say I used a sword, right?
Was it a real sword?
It was not, dog. It was, what Belagarth is? You know what live action role play is? You ever seen Grown Ups? That's what it was. It was a toy sword, dog. It was made out of camp mat and foam, and it is inspected and regulated. Now, this one I actually bought from a professional. This is not one I even made myself. I bought it from a professional, and it's made specifically to hit someone with full contact and not injure them at all. So he was completely safe that whole time, and I announced that shit too. I said, "Hey, this is a toy sword, dog. This is a LARP sword. I'm just keeping my space from you because I did not trust him. He would not communicate with me."
Now, when the officer stopped you, why didn't you just?
Because I gotta tell you, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Here's the thing. So first of all, none of my charges are even related to why he stopped me. So there was no reason to stop me. Now that is your first clue here of things from the other side. But on my end of things, I was rolling up through Boonville, right? I was going a little fast. I don't even know if I was speeding, but I was just rolling up because I was trying to get to my girl. The night before, I had checked in on her for. She told me that she had been domestically violenced. So I was on my way back because I had left her with the guy that she said she wanted to stay with. I didn't completely trust him because he was kind of a meth head. But I was coming back to check on her just to say, "Hey, what's up? You doing okay?" So I was in a hurry, but I was not being reckless or nothing. But then I see a movement inside of this squad car, and it just gives me a bad. I get vibes and signs, and it gives me a bad sign. I see movement. Now, I believe I saw a gun being flashed or moved around. He did have 4 guns in that car whenever he was inside of it. So I never even passed his ass. I saw that gun moving around. I turned off to the right, hopefully to deflect the whole situation. He followed me to this thing. Now,
you said you were in a hurry, but you don't remember speeding.
I don't even know if I was. I'm going to be honest with you. I was focused on getting to her. And so I wasn't doing if I was, it would have been more than 5 or 10 over.
And then when they pulled you over and you got out of the car, did you initially know you were going to go for the sword, or did you feel panic? What were you feeling?
So I'll tell you, because it didn't really work. It didn't really play out like that. I'm not sure how people don't think it played out. So here's what happened. So I was fleeing for my life in my car. Now, unfortunately, I'm a good driver. My car is fast. I could have lost him in the corners and avoided this whole reckless situation, which is what I was trying to do. Unfortunately, whenever I first pulled off, I hit my right rear bearing on a curve. So my car was licked up. It wouldn't go more than 40 miles an hour. And eventually the car got to the point to where it was too reckless to drive, and I didn't want to put any civilians in danger. So what I tried to do is I tried to pull into a spot that was nice and comfy where we can talk. I got out of the car. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry, when you got out of the car, because you're saying you're pulling over to kind of make sure everybody around you was safe.
Yeah.
Did you intend to take the police vehicle? Was it more of a panic or escape type of, what was your?
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. No, my first intention was to talk to him and say, hey dog, what's the deal? What's wrong? The reason why I ran is because I saw a peace flash, right? So I was walking to him, my hands up, I walked up to him, and he had his taser out. Now, he was completely uncommunicative. I said, can I talk to you? I was trying to motion to him, hey, can we talk? And he said, get on the ground. Now, I got this feeling in me like, if I get on the ground, let him cuff my ass, I'm not leaving this place alive. And I think the fact that he shot me kind of proves that a little bit. I think he was out for blood that day. So he has that taser out, he's pointing at my Now, I could feel the negative energy coming towards me. So I do what every human in that situation would do and run, because first of all, sure, he's a public safety officer, but he has certain things he has to abide by, and he was not abiding by them when he was flashing his piece and starting off so aggro with me. When I was running away from him, I wasn't even speeding.
How do you think?
I couldn't
what are
speed.
the proper protocols that you feel like the officer should have gone through before?
Communicate with me, dog. Like, just talk to me. Like, I would just come up to me and say, hey, what's up? I was unarmed. Why does he need that taser for? Also, that taser, I found out later, would have done anything anyway, but that's another story. But
do you know what charges you're currently facing?
Yeah, there are so many of them. They're trying to throw the book at me like they did in Bedford. Now,
can you list them for me?
Oh, I mean, what I can say is that they're right here, and there's so many of them. Now, are we talking about Warwick, or are we talking about Davis?
Talk about both.
Both? So, let's see here. Now, Warwick, here's some funny ones. You want to hear the funniest ones? Criminal recklessness committed with a deadly weapon. It was made of foam, guys. I'm sorry. Resisting law enforcement. I don't even know what this means. Knowingly, intentionally, forcibly resist or obstruct. Okay, that was me saving my own life. Okay, cool. There's 2 felony 5s, 3 felony 6s, and a Class A misdemeanor here.
And that's Warwick.
And this is all Warwick.
Okay. Davis.
Oh, Davis? Davis ain't nearly as bad. Now, I will say, I don't, before this, obviously I didn't have the best experience with cops, how they treat me whenever I defended me against my rapist.
Speaking to that, do you feel like your current charges, do you think that they're warranted?
Nah.
What do you think of them?
I think all the charges are bogus, because he did not do his job correctly. And I've already paid my penance. I think taking 2 to the chest and 1 to the side was his penance enough. I don't think jail time is any necessary at all, because I almost died, and thank God I'm a Buddhist and my karma is straight. After this, I'm getting out of this cycle of suffering, thankfully, because I'm an old soul. You can tell if you look at me. There's a lot of stuff I've been through in my life and my time, but the Davis County charges, honestly, they ain't even that worth mentioning, because it's just running from the cops. Now, Davis County, the reason why I ran from Davis County, now I was trying to tell the judge yesterday, I don't know if you saw. And the judge wouldn't listen to me, which that's fine, I get it. He was just trying to look out for my, even though, I want to speak for myself. Now most of those charges are just fleeing them. And now the reason I was fleeing is because there was a Rockport cop with them. I didn't realize that. It was Rockport, but I knew it was Indiana because he started on me on the Indiana side. I was trying to get to Kentucky to get to some cops over here, be like, I need to report a crime, I've been shot by a cop. And I'm not going to the same police department that shot me to report that crime. So I'm getting to Kentucky because I know that's different, right? So, so basically, the charges are just about running and stuff. Now, whenever they tased me, and I took a knee, they put 2 tasers. They had 2 guys, 2 tasers in me. I took 1 knee. I said, I'm chill. I look up. I see one of these guys is Davis County. I said, dog, I need to report a crime. I've been shot. If I had known that he was Davis County, I would have surrendered to him. That Rockport guy, not so much. No offense to, full offense to Indiana, I'd be trusting their cops right now. And the Rockport cop had a assault rifle pointed at me. I was unarmed and shirtless and full of bullet holes. I had my arms up like this. He kept pointing an assault rifle at me like this. And I would turn around and be like, I don't want to die with a gun shot in my back. At least shoot me in the front, you know? But thankfully, they didn't use it, so we're chill.
Is there anything you want people or the officer involved to understand about you or what happened that day?
I want people to know I did not run because of my previous charges. I ran because I feared for my life. I was negotiating a deal to get off on those charges completely because I was justified in defending myself from my rapist. And I am justified today, or 3 days ago, whenever this happened, time be kind of melding together, but I'm justified in defending myself with a foam sword. I used no deadly weapons, like they said. I didn't have any deadly weapons pulled on that cop at all. In fact, whenever I got in that car, I felt like the reason why he shot me, so he also, Mr. John Wayne, some of you to know, first of all, don't shoot people when they're unarmed. That's messed up. Second of all, listen to people. Like they just want to be alive and shit. Third of all, don't leave your car unlocked with 3 guns inside of it and shoot the person for it. That is your fault. You left your car unlocked. You left those guns unattended. I took one of those guns and I emptied the clip in the air and threw it out the window because I wasn't trying to with that shit. I don't with no guns. And then you had a rifle and a shotgun. How many guns you need on a Monday morning? In Boonville, of all places. Like, okay, I'm sorry. You got more questions?
Yeah, and then your wounds.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned yesterday in court that your bandages hadn't been changed and things like that. Has that changed since?
They have. It took 12 hours of crying and screaming and banging on the walls to get that to happen. But it happened. Finally. It took me advocating for myself. And last night, when they finally got to me, since I had to kick the top bunk to get their attention, finally, I had felt like a rip in my stomach, and they refused to take me to the hospital to get scanned. That's the thing that killed me, dog. Is that wound in that stomach? That's what killed me. I bled internally. And I said, "Hey, this killed me. Can we go look at it?" And they said, "You're fine. Go back to bed." I was like, "Cool. I guess if I wake up dead tomorrow, I just don't send this." And there was a guy in there that had really kind eyes. I said, "Don't send him in because it's not his fault this is happening." I could tell he wanted to do something. And you'll do that. You'll be in these situations, right? And you'll get people in here that are good people, and they want to try and help you, but they can't. They got too many rules, too many regulations, too many laws that are unjust, that keep them restrained from actually helping people.
Okay, pause that thought for a second.
Yeah.
I'm going to switch the angle here.
I'm sorry.